and welcome. This is Dirnan playing Transport Fever 2. I almost feel like I've exhausted a lot of the quote-unquote easy paths to get things, and looking at different industries that are around. I feel like I've gotten the easy ones for trains, at least, to get no wasted train traveling. Kind of stretched it with the bread and the food here because they can't be traveled on the same cart, so I have to split those loads. But I think I'm going to move to putting a whole bunch of truck lines down. So like right here, this is a farm that's right near a bread line. So I can just start sending that there, and that'll make me a little bit money. And it won't make me as much as a train, but I can start adding in a lot of those lines. So I think I might go around and see if there's easy things for that before I start trying to get bread from here to Montgomery down to Irving. Because I know that people like to travel that way, so maybe I can bring bread down. The downside of that, of having bread from here to here, is that there's nothing really. I could bring this farm and send it down to the train, so I can go back with that, but then we run into the same issue as from Montgomery to the food plant, is that this train has half of its cars for food and half of its car for grain. So it's not super efficient to do that, and I also don't want to have a half food, half people line, because that feels weird, especially since, zooming in, this is a passenger platform, and I need to add in a cargo platform and a cargo building to get cargo to be added here. So I'm going to go around the map. I will add in truck stops and truck depots to get a lot of these simple, really short truck lines going, so that in the future maybe I can decide what I'm going to do with, these end products, because it's just going to be bringing it in. This plant that requires stuff isn't really going to be improving at all because we're not shipping this anywhere. I could try and ship this just to, into Montgomery, but yeah, that's another day. Today is going to be getting these little short routes set up. I paused the game, and I feel like I've done the easy production chains that I can without having to build anything but truck stations and truck road depots. So I've got some food processing here. Way up in the other corner, there's some logs to a sawmill. And down, I think down here in this corner, there's some more food to a food processing plant. Now, I'm going to let that run for a little while, maybe another year, and we can see in 1878 if any of those are making money. The next easy truck lines would be ones where I connect them by roads. This one is a tricky one though, because it does need coal and iron, but you can't see it here. When I click on the contour lines, this is a hill. So I would need to bend this road around to get to here, which isn't as quick, or I could just spend the money and dig a tunnel. But then with tunnels, you gotta maintain them, and it's not super fun. There are a few others like this one, where you have a forest here and it needs to go to a sawmill. The current road structure would have it go all the way around, but I could just easily build a road that connects those, set up a truck line, make some money there. And that'll be what I'll do after I get some more money. It has been a year, and looking at the line statistics, there are a few that are still in the negative, and that would be one that I just set up that I'll talk about in a little bit. The other one is Irving Intrabus. So that's the bus system within Irving That's just moving people around Irving. The other one is the Montgomery taking people by bus to the train station. So it's almost breaking even. And those are, what, $3,600 in the hole. But my wood train, that very first train we set up, over 2.5 million. The oil train is almost 2 million. Even the food grain train, that's half and half, is 500,000. The passenger line is making 290,000. So a lot of these are making a lot of money. So let's check the ones that we set up, which are the Forest 3 to a sawmill, making a good amount of money, and I only have 5 transport things on there, so I could bump that up. We'll check that out. And I also have 2 of these grain to foods, and they're making pretty good money. You can see the frequency, so that means I can increase the amount of vehicles, and then they'll carry more stuff. Because this one looks like, right now, all of the trucks are going back empty, whereas other ones, half of them are full, which makes more sense to have half of them going with stuff and half of them coming back to pick up more stuff. Jumping over here to one of the grain lines to a food processing plant. It looks like we need a lot more trucks. This is a farther distance. This is the one that the frequency was saying it was very low in between, and you can see that all of these trucks are heading back to pick up more, and this station has 114, and that's too much for it to handle. So we are going to click on this guy, and we are just going to grab all of them. We're going to clone them twice. So tripling how many are there. Let's fly this direction to the other grain to food that we set up, just on the other side of Montgomery. And this guy has 86, and most all of them are picking up to head back here. So we also are going to, we might just double that one, see how that goes, because that's a really short distance. And we also have way over here in the corner by Atlanta the log one, and that is just producing like gangbusters. So we are also going to take these guys and we will triple them. So that spends a lot of money, but hopefully in a year that will produce a lot of more money. You see all of them just spilling out. Another interesting thing about Transport Fever 2 is that they will, but he's full, he could leave right now, but he's going to wait and kind of space themselves out. They're not all just bunched up like this. They're spaced out kind of evenly between all of the trucks. We'll come back in a little bit to check out that one. Let's go over to Montgomery and show you what I did with that other grain setup. So I'm trying this out. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I have a whole bunch of trucks that are going to pick up grain from this farm and take it to this farm. My hope is that this will help boost production for this guy so that the train doesn't come back empty. Because this guy can hold 35 food, but this is never producing 35 food. It just doesn't seem to either have too many carts here going back and forth, but for some reason this food farm is not producing enough. And even though I'm shipping everything that they send to me, it still says I'm at 95 out of 200. I don't quite understand that. So my hope is that these guys will pull in extra. Downside is that it looks like got too many trucks and I'm wasting money on a lot of these because even if this produces, it's not producing quickly enough to get these guys to have anything to ship down here. It's just a little experiment I wanted to try to see, can I make money? I mean, it might be that I just need to send them on the long trek from here all the way to here, drop off the grain, but I wanted to make money here and then make money here again. You know, it's good to make money twice for the same product, right? And again, it's been another year since we updated how many trucks we have on the routes. Let's check out this food. Still has 90, still has a lot, and is losing some. So all of these trucks should be producing and getting stuff to there. Don't really understand how this one is shipping 200. Like, I don't understand why this one is different than these two over here that seem to be doing the same thing, but this one's not producing nearly as much. So, that's weird. And let's check out the line details, and it looks like the grain, the one I just set up last year that's going grain to grain, is indeed losing money. So I'm gonna delete some of these trucks so that I'm not losing money from those, because that's sad. But that's the only one that's losing money. The other ones are, the buses are hardly making money, but they're making a little bit of money, which is nice. I think that's where this episode will end. Next episode, we will dig deeper into creating roads to connect some of these industries, and maybe even connect this forest into the sawmill so that it can increase its production. So right now it's not storing anything. This forest and all the wood coming from the other side aren't giving it enough in order for it to level up. So maybe we need to ship in more logs. Maybe I can do the same trick of sending logs from here to here and getting it to make double money on the same trip. We will try that out next time. Thanks for watching. This has been Dirnan, playing Transport Fever 2.